Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar on the Power Platform and Dynamics 365 certifications. My name is Vlad Catrinescu, and I will be your host for this webinar. Before we get started with the amazing content that we have planned for today, let me cover some housekeeping items. This webinar will be recorded and will be sent to everyone who registered within 48 hours after the event. And we encourage you to send the recording to any friend or colleague who you think might benefit from the knowledge in this webinar. The slides will also be shared with you. We would also like to encourage you to take this opportunity to ask any questions you might have around Dynamics and Power Platform certifications. And please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen to ask all of the questions, and we'll make sure to get to all of them during the call. Now enough with the boring housekeeping, let's get to the fun stuff. And first of all, I'd like to introduce you to my good friend and Microsoft MVP, Nicolas Georgeault. How are you doing, Nico?
Hey Vlad, how you doing?
I am
So
doing great. It's weird for us not to be together since we're both in Montreal.
yeah, right. So great speaking with you today.
Yes,
Uh,
Nicola, I know you've been traveling the world for a bunch of events for the past 10 years now. I think you've been an MVP, right? Did you
almost,
just
yeah,
get your
almost.
10? Oh, okay, I thought you just got your 10 years ring,
Oh,
but almost.
I
Oh,
got
you
it,
got
but
it.
yeah,
Okay. Uh, can you please introduce yourself?
sure. So my name is Nicolas Georgeault. I'm French, and I just moved from France to Canada 8 years ago now. Uh, yeah, almost nine finally. So I'm an MVP for I think 11 or 12 years. I'm not even sure. So yeah, we are traveling together for that a lot. I mean, we are usually pretty much at the same place all over the world. And I'm a consultant. So I just started my own consulting company 4 years ago after um, some trouble with my health, and uh, and actually I'm really focusing on Power Platform and the way to use the Power Platform, and that's the reason why naturally I just look at Dynamics 365 because this is from where we are just coming with the Power Platform. Not all the Power Platform, but most of the, I mean, the main part of the Power Platform is coming from Dynamic AX a long time ago. So, and the reason why I'm passionate about this is Vlad knows me a lot, and he knows that I'm not a very advanced technical guy. I'm more between the technical and the business part of the different solutions. So that's the reason why I'm very interesting in the way Microsoft is currently modernizing the whole entire platform, but specifically Dynamics 365.
Hey, Nico, I just want to get this on the record. When it comes to Dynamics, compared to me, you're a technical god. Because I don't know anything about Dynamics. I know Power Platform, most of it, but Dynamics, I'm going to learn a lot during this webinar.
Oh,
And
but
you've also been doing a lot of trainings for the certifications, right? You're a LinkedIn author?
yes, absolutely. So I'm an instructor. Uh,
Uh,
this is the LinkedIn
th-
learning word.
this is the word, okay?
Right, right. So I'm an instructor on some of, I mean, different topics. But yes, of course, I'm covering the French Dynamics 365 courses, and I'm also actually recording the MB400 for an American company. because this is really a hot topic actually. So that's really the main interesting topic at this time from a technical perspective, but also from a certification perspective, because this is really a way to be different, to mark the difference with others.
And for everybody watching, if you have no idea what the MB400 is, this is why we're having this webinar.
Right.
So Nicole, I'll let you start doing the overview of how can people get certified in Dynamics and Power Platform, and which certification should people go with depending on their profile?
Okay, so I will separate this talk in two different parts. The different certifications that are actually available or will be available pretty soon, and because this whole entire certification, or I mean courses and certification, will change by the end of this year. So by December, by the end of December, they will switch from the Dynamics 365 / Power Platform courses to real segregation between the two different words. I mean, I will talk a bit more about this in the second part. So now the situation right now is, you probably know that we are in between two different things. We got two certification available right now for focused on Power Platform specifically, the PL 900, which is the fundamental, and the PL 100, which is still in beta, I think. And the beta will be released. The GA will be released pretty soon. So I will just jump into my first slide right here, which is the different certification that are available right now. So when it comes to talk about the Power Platform, actually we are still talking about the business application certifications. And this is the list of the different certifications that are actually available, that are presently available. So you got at the top the certification that are more focused on the Power Apps and Dynamics 365 globally. And at the bottom of the slide, so the four certifications that are at the bottom of this slide are more focused on the Dynamics 365 and all the different add-ons you've got in Dynamics 365. And this is these certifications are more focused on, for example, finance and operation, chain management, and all these different add-ons you've got with the Dynamics 365. So the first part at the top is really focused on Dynamics 365 for sales or for customer engagement, finally. So this is the main difference between the two different parts. And because Power Platform, with this idea about the common data service, is coming from Dynamics AX 2012 or 3 at the very beginning, when they just decided to modernize this platform and host this platform into Azure, they just start working on this Power Platform idea and this new way to use the common data service. So that's the reason why you get the 5 different certifications at the top that are organized around specifically the sales, the marketing, the customer service, the field service, that are specific application, finally, of the Dynamics 365 for customer engagement. And the last one, which is the core. So the Microsoft certified Power Apps plus Dynamics 365 Developer Associate is actually the main, is still the main certification about business application, and of course, Power Platform, because this certification is covering, it's is an association of two different exams, and I will just go deeper in a minute. So you still got this certification that are actually active. They are all available. And as you probably already know, every certification is worth for 2 years. So even if you decide to go into this certification right now because you don't want to wait for the specific Power Platform certification, this certification, the Powerapps plus Dynamics 365 Developer Associate, you will be certified for the next 2 years. So you don't have to worry about that. My recommendation is always to go first into the fundamentals, this PL900 or MB901, which is the one that is more dedicated or more focused on Dynamics 365. So there's two fundamentals. You can see here, this one is more focused on the Power Platform, and you will cover all the different content you need to jump right after into Dynamics 365 for customer engagement. But as you probably know a lot about Dynamics 365, it's always very interesting to look at the Dynamics 365 fundamentals, because you probably know that these two certifications are very simple. It's just, these certifications are just an hour. So you can just go very quickly into this certification. They are less expensive. It's just $100. From my what I remember, sorry. And so that's really a good first step to jump into this whole entire certification idea. Here in Power Platform, you will really have to validate you understood the business value of the different part of the Power Platform. So you will, the PL900 will cover the whole entire Power Platform. The 4 different products you've got, so Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agent. But you don't have to go deeper into this knowledge. It's just about the business value and what to use when. So this is really basic questions about this. And that will help you to just jump into this, this certification path. So again, this Power Platform, you will also have to go into the new admin center, which is the main part of the Power Platform. If you want to start working with the Power Platform with all the different settings you've got into the Power Platform. So you already know, and you are probably aware that Power Platform is not directly associated to the Common Data Service database, because you can just jump into the Power Platform without using the Common Data Service database at first. And here, you will stay focused on using Power Automate, Power BI, and Power Apps for Canvas. But when you will be interested in jumping into the Power Apps for the model-driven application, for example, or the portal application, you will need the Common Data Service database. And at this point, you will need to understand what is the Common Data Service and how it works. And that's the point about the associate level here. The associate certification will validate that you understand the Common Data Service and you understand how to use it. So the first one, the first step will be the MB200. So I will just jump into the different certifications specifically here. So here you got two different certifications that need to be achieved in order to be developer associate, a Powerapps plus Dynamics 365 developer associate. So you need to cover this MB200 Power Platform Dynamics 365 core, where you will need to understand how to design an application into Dynamics 365. So you will talk about the model-driven application, the model-driven side more deeply. Of course, this one will still talk about the canvas and the way to use the canvas to, for example, deliver mobile application to Dynamics 365 users. But here you will need to understand what is an entity, for example, and where you will store the data and the way you will store and secure the data. So that's globally what you need to understand about the Common Data Service database, which is mainly used actually by the Dynamics 365 for sales. The second part of this certification here is the MB400. So this one is really for developers. If you are interested in developing more advanced application using the Power Platform, you will have to jump into this branch right here, where you will have to go deeper into the way to extend the Common Data Service with the additional workflows, for example. And sometimes you need some Dynamics workflows. You will go deeper into the development, into all the different things you need to develop in order to create advanced application into the model-driven, mostly into the model-driven part. So it's all about the plugins, for example. So when you are using a .NET plugin or a plugin, you will have to develop it and you will have to use the Visual Studio. So this is really the part where here you will have to jump into the Visual Studio, work onto your plugins, and understand the process to release correctly this different development into your platform. So of course you will have to think about the solutions. You are already covering the solutions into the MB200, but here in the MB400, you will use the package deployer to create more advanced solution into your platform. You will also cover the application lifecycle management and the way to release this different package in the right way into the platform. So this MB400 is not only focusing on the Power Apps model-driven. It also, you will probably have some question about the canvas also. Sometimes more advanced question about the different scripts you will be able to use into the canvas mode. So it can be, for example, create a collection and the way to use correctly the collection into the canvas mode. The other thing you will find into the MB400 that you don't have into the MB200 is the Powerapps Portal. So this portals is really this modernization of the old Dynamics 365 portals. So it's just coming from Dynamics 365. And if you already used it in the past, it works pretty much in the same way. The only difference is the way it's actually integrating into the Power Platform. So you will have to just go and understand how this portal is now integrating and the way to, for example, activate the portal and the different portal solution into the Power Platform. So this is pretty much what you will need to understand to go into this track. So here, I will just open for some question if you got some question in a minute. Here is the Developer Associate certification that is still available till the end of this year, till December 2020. If you are going into the MB200 and MB400 pages on the Microsoft site, you can already see that Microsoft is actually planning to move this certification to new ones. And I will talk about this in a minute. Just to end this part, here is the situation right now about the certification. So this is the slide you can just find on the certification page, which is your first reflex when you need to find something about the certification. Just go down into the certification page and you will find some additional links that will guide you into the process. So here, the great thing is when you are using the online page from the certification page, you will find direct links to the certifications. And you can see here, you can easily identify what is the most important for you. Are you specifically focusing on Power Platform, or are you talking sometime with your customers, about the CRM? So it will depend on, the different discussion you've got with your customers. And even if you are focusing on Power Platform, you can see here at the bottom, we are still waiting for others, but we got 3 different certifications that are available specifically for Power Platform. And one of these certifications is not even a Power Platform certification. This is a Power BI certification, the DA100, which is the Data Analyst Associate, which is more something coming from the Power BI. And just to make sure you will understand the way to connect to the data sources. And the reason why we are talking about the Data Analyst Associate right here is more and more you will have to agree to ingest data into the Power Platform using the Power Query Online. And all these different features are covered by the Data Analyst Associate certification. So that's the reason why this certification, which is finally out of Power Platform, is part of this certification path right here. So as you can see here, if you are in between the customer engagement and the Power Platform, that means if you want to go deeper into development into the Power Platform, and if you want to go deeper into the development of the solutions we are using in the Power Platform, you will have to go into this Developer Associate, Powerapps Dynamics 365 Developer Associate. And the next one, the highest one, is the Dynamics 365 plus Power Platform Solution Architect Expert, which is the next step. If you are a black belt into this topic, you can just go till the Dynamics 365 Power Platform Solution Architect Expert. Maybe we can just go through some questions if there's some questions.
Nico, I actually have 2 questions. First one is, if you're working towards the Power Platform certification, so maybe Power Platform Fundamentals, App Maker, Functional Consultant, do you need, how much Dynamics 365 knowledge do you actually need for those PL-something exams?
Great question. So this specific Power Platform App Maker and Power Platform Fundamentals don't talk about Dynamics 365 at all. So you don't have to know, you don't have to know anything about Dynamics 365 if you are going into Power Platform App Maker and Power Platform Fundamentals. The only thing is you will use exactly the same word and the same process because backend, these two systems will use the same structure, the same admin center. But you don't have to know anything about Dynamics 365 when it comes to go into Power Platform App Maker and Power Platform Fundamentals.
Awesome. The other question is, preparing for the MB400, is there a trial subscription which gives the possibility to practice for free? So how can somebody that maybe doesn't have it at work or doesn't want to pay, because I think Dynamics is pretty expensive as a subscription.
Right.
How can you get access to some labs and practice for free?
So the best thing is you probably already aware about this subscription level we've got into Power Platform about community, right? I think the right word is the community subscription.
I know there's a community subscription, but does it include Dynamics as well?
Right. So the best thing is to start with the Power Platform. And from the Power Platform environment, you got access to trials. So you can start a trial environment. And when you are building the trial environment, you can just ask for a common data service database to be built into this trial environment. And there's another option right after to let you choose if you want to integrate into this new Power Platform environment the Dynamics 365 applications. So if you are just going into trials from the Power Platform environment, that will be a good way. There's another option. So I would just here switch into my browser. If you want to try something, you can just go into trials.dynamics.com. So this page will give you an access to all the different options you've got, all the different trials you've got. So if you want to stay focused on the sales and the customer engagement part, you can just jump into sales right here. Just provide your work email. It can be a tenant. You can just start, for a month or 3 months for free. If you want just to start playing with the environment right here, and you will just have to provide your phone number. In the next step, the system will identify that you already got a tenant, a Microsoft 365 tenant, which is required if you want to jump into this demo, because the user management and all those different things will come from Microsoft 365, sorry. So you will just be invited to authenticate on your tenant, and here the trial will be deployed into your environment just for you.
Awesome. And I think you can get up to 60 days with that, right? Or like it's an initial 30, but then you can extend for another 30 and...
Right. From what I know, most of the time, even if sometimes you just have to open a ticket in your environment, you can just go to 3 months usually. So, but yeah, you're right. 60 is the thing you can just, you will go for 30 days, and you can just reactivate your trial for another 30 days. But to be clear, we are at this point with Microsoft where if you need an additional 30 days, they will just give it to you. That's not a problem.
Awesome. Okay, now another question about the Power Platform ones. And this one will be a bit tough because it's about 2 beta exams. So what are the differences both in audience and knowledge between the PL100 and the PL200?
Great question. So in the PL100, as usual, what I'm saying is, first of all, just jump into the docs.microsoft.com. You will find all the different things about the certification right here. And that's usually the best way to start, okay? So here, for example, I would just jump into this PL100.
By the way, I just noticed that it's tagged with Dynamics 365 instead of Power Platform.
Right.
It shouldn't be, right?
Here it's already tagged with the Power Platform.
Oh, okay, but under the PL100. Yeah,
right.
Probably a mistake.
Probably, yeah. So here, from the certification page, you just have to go down into the page and you will find the skills that are measured right here. And I don't know if you already tried to download the certification skill outline, but it's really very interesting to see all the different details you've got right here into that page. So for example, for the exam PL100, you will find here all the different topics that will be covered by this certification. So for example, here, you will go a bit deeper into the design solution, which is the only information you've got at first into the page. But here you will find some additional details about what it means, design solutions. Here you will have to create a high-level design, identify required Power Platform component. So here you will find all the different information about the certification. And you can easily compare between the two certifications you are thinking about. But the main difference is here, the PL900 is really focusing on the design of the application itself. So it will talk about the way you will start creating the application, the way you will be able to connect on the different data sources, the way you will use the canvas mode, because that will be mostly the way, I mean, the topic that will be covered into the PL100, sorry. So it will mostly talk about the canvas. You can have some question about the model-driven, but they will not go deeper into the model-driven. Here into the canvas, they want to understand, they want to be sure that you understand the way to use the Powerapps canvas or the Powerapps to start developing some solutions. So they will ask question about the mobile, the way to design the mobile view, all the different things about sharing the application, the way you will correctly share the application with others, the way you will be able to manage the versioning of the application. So you will for sure have some question about the versioning and the way it works with Power Platform. So that's really, something really focused on Power Apps application, but more from my experience, it was more on the Canvas application. And the MB200 will be, sorry, the PL200, sorry. So we are still waiting for the beta. The beta is
I think they finally published the skills outline because it was not there at the beginning. I think now it's here.
Right, because this certification is supposed to be open at the end of September. And as you can see here, the PL200 is talking about the common data service. So we are not talking about Dynamics 365. And when I say we are not talking about Dynamics 365 is we are not covering the different application we've got into Dynamics 365 and the way to extend them. But you will need to understand what are the model-driven application. And of course, when it comes to talk about the model-driven, this is something that is just coming from Dynamics 365, but we will not cover the sales application, for example, or anything coming from Dynamics, but you will need to understand how the unified interface is actually working, because this is the new unified interface experience we are delivering. So that's really the focus on, that will be the focus on this PL 200. The model driven, sorry.
I'll ask you a question, Nico, and this is for me. This is not from the chat. This is from Vlad. Do you think that the titles should almost be inversed? I'm looking at the skills measured of the PL200, and I'm like, okay, create and manage Power Automate, create and manage apps, implement Power Virtual Agents. Personally, I have a feeling that this is more of a creator one, while the other one is more of a design. The PL100 right now is more of a designer rather than a creator. That's just me. You can tell me I'm wrong. I'm used to that.
I don't know. Just, you know, I will not go into this some trouble Microsoft got with the names sometime.
Well, is it the common data service or is it data
yeah,
flex or is it all
I was thinking about this specifically, yeah, because you're probably aware that the data flex name will change before Ignite, probably. So yeah, about the names, I don't know, but this one is really the app maker. I mean, when we are talking about app making, we are not talking about automating things. We're not talking about creating conversation. This app maker is really focusing on Power Apps. So even if it's, you know, Power Platform, because we need to talk about the Power Platform globally and the way to design, create application into the Power Platform. But this one is really focusing on apps and the way to design, create, and share and publish apps into the Power Platform. And which is way different than the second one from my perspective. So I think the name is not that bad, because here, when you are just going into the details, you will see that will be more understanding how the application will integrate into the whole entire Power Platform solutions and services. So how you will be able to start automating things around your Power Apps, and how you will be able to integrate your data coming from the Common Data Service, but not only, through the application till a conversation using the Power Virtual Agent. So this is not something that is covered into the PL 100, which is more focused on app making. And that's the reason why I'm thinking, if you are really working on designing and creating application, please go into the PL 100, still in beta, but will be open in few days, I think, few weeks. So this one is really, will validate that you know how to create application. And if you are working with the customers in solution designing, for example, and integrating this application into business processes, here is the point where I will move into the PL 200. The PL 200 will be more, oh, I will integrate this app into the business application, the business process, sorry. So that's the reason why here you will find more things about, of course, the database itself, the database that it's used and promoted by the Power Platform. So even if you are not using the Common Data Service at all, but you want to integrate Power Apps into business processes, you will have to understand the different options you've got about this database. So that's really a major difference between creating an app, again with the PL 100, and integrating this app into business processes with PL 200.
That makes sense. And a follow-up question, how do you prepare for PL 100? Do you just make a lot of apps? I think that's always a valid way, by the way.
Yeah, right,
That will
right.
always be a valid way of preparing, actually doing it.
Yeah, but you need to you must have a reflex when you are starting practicing or looking for you know labs or training content, which is GitHub. My first reflex now is just jump into GitHub and search for Microsoft Learning content, because Microsoft Learning is already delivering a lot of stuff into GitHub. And GitHub will give you the labs, and most of the time they will give you the code of the application. So that will help you a lot to practice all these different things. At
Where do you
this,
find them on GitHub? Can you show it really quick? I don't know how to get to them either, so that can be helpful for people.
so GitHub here, I will just jump into the content, and I will directly look for PL100 if there anything. So maybe not already for PL100, but if you are looking, for example, for MB400, the one I'm actually preparing. So there's actually some content here. And here you will find all the different labs that are available for the MB400. And even if you are not going so deep into the development, you will find some very interesting labs right here. It's purely basic step-by-steps where you will be able to practice all these different things. So maybe at this time, the PL100 is not yet available, but I know that usually this is my first reflex when I'm looking for advanced training content. The second one, which is always the good one, from the page itself here, from the page of the certification page right here, you just have to go down into the page, and here you will find some free learning content that is actually available, and just coming from the Microsoft Learning page, the micro learning. And this content is really, really great because it's directly attached to the exam itself. So this content is really developed based on the different skills that are measured during the exam, and you will easily be able to start building applications. So even in these courses, that will be a mix between some pages, some information you need to know and understand about the topic. And sometimes you will find some pages where you will get some exercise, and you will find some guidance here to create your first application. So that's just another great source of, labs or training labs if you want to start learning about this. And the third option, because there's sometimes the third option, specifically about the Power Platform, you're probably aware that Microsoft is organizing a lot of app in a day or something in a day around the Power Platform. So this is something that Microsoft started, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. And if you are looking for example, some content, here I will just go into aka.ms/ here, and I will try, for example, app in a day. And here you will find a direct link where you will find some information about this kind of events where you can go for free. You can just attend this event for free. This really a whole entire day where you will just follow a very simple scenario, but you will get some labs. And even if you are not going to this event, I know that the content is also available for download. So you can just download the zip file where you will be able to find the PDF with the code, even with the code if you want. So you will find all these different things that are available for free to start learning and practicing about the PL 100.
Sorry, I was on mute. Awesome. Okay, so I was talking here, I was all excited, and I hear silence. I'm like, okay, what happened? So that's it for the questions for now. I see we still
Okay,
got
great.
13 minutes left. But yeah, I see you have a bunch of tabs open if you want to share other things, get people, give people ideas.
Yeah. So from the different pages you've got into from the website. So one of my favorite source of information is when you're just going into that page. I mean, from the certification page right here. I will just go back to the certification page here. So I'm on the page with the certification details right here. Okay. So here you got the link to the required exam. The good thing is there is no more idea about like in the previous, like in the current situation where in order to be an certified as an associate for Power Platform and Dynamics 365, you need to achieve the MB200 and MB400. So this idea about the two certifications that are required to get to be certified is not here anymore. That means that at this time, you can just go and be certified with just an exam, so which is better. So here you will find the required exam, which is the PL 100, sorry, for the Power Platform Power App Maker Associate. And if you are just going down into that page here, following the link, you will find great references, great information right here. So usually the training and certification guide is always a good way to find any information about the certification path. If you are just going into this content right here, you will download or you will display a PDF file right here. I know Microsoft Microsoft Learning is using PDF everywhere. So, so that's the way they are releasing information. So here is really the great way to find an easy table of content with the topic we are trying to find information about. And here in the Power Platform training and certification, you will find here the details about what is coming here. So here you got the role-based certification, the associate one. You will find the fundamentals, of course, at the bottom of the page. And here you will find what we were talking about, the Power Platform App Maker, which is the PL 100, the Power Platform Functional Consultant that is coming at the end of September and will be open in beta till the end of this year, because this certification is supposed to be GA in January 2021. And here you will find this information about the PL 200. The page is already available. You can find all the different details about the PL 200. Also about the Power Platform Developer, the PL 400. This one, again, is about how you can use the package deployer and how you can go deeper into the solution packager and the solution development, specifically when it comes to talk about the portal. So this content is actually covered by the PL 400. And if you want to go deeper into that page, again, you can just go into the certification page and already find all the different information about the PL 400. Here, we are still at this time where this Power Apps and Dynamics 365 Developer MB200, MB400 is still available. There's a lot of content available for that one. So these two certifications are still available. You can just go into this certification till the end of this year. And using this certification, you will get an equivalence finally of the others, because this certification is still available and valuable for 2 years. So you don't have to wait. I mean, but if you want, you can just wait till the end of this year or till the end of September to go into this 2 certification that will be released in beta. This PL100 is still today, I think, still in beta till the end of September. I'm actually waiting for the results for that one, because as you know, when you are taking an exam in beta, you have to wait till the GA to get the result. And here you will find a reference about the one that is associated to the Power Platform, the Data Analyst, the DA100. This one is, I already took that one because I'm working a lot with Power BI. And it's really, all the different things you need to know to prepare the data. I mean, connect to the data source, prepare the data, transform the data using Power Query, using sometimes DAX a bit. So you have to need to understand DAX. And this is everything before going deeper into Power BI. So this one is covering the Power BI also. I mean, you will have to probably know a bit about how you can start building some visuals into Power BI, how you can publish your Power BI desktop file into the Power BI service, and the way you can just share this information, share these reports and dashboards from the Power BI service and all these different things. You will not have any very deep question about the data gateway, for example, and all these different things, because that will be covered in another. I haven't had any question about this. I mean, deep question about the data gateway. And of course, this one is still available, and there is no plan actually about that one. So if you are waiting for something about the Power Platform at the PL 600 level, you will have to wait till probably middle of next year. Mid 2021, you will probably have something about that coming in beta, but you will probably have something. So that's here the main place where you will find all the information about what exam is coming, what exam will be retired. And of course, the blog is still a very interesting, very important place to go. So usually I got the blog already open. Sorry. So you got the blog right here. If you never used and never visit this blog before, please go into the tech community.microsoft.com and look for the Microsoft Learn blog, the Microsoft Learn blog right here. And you will find all the information about what is coming, what are the different certifications that are planned or will be released in the next coming month, etc. So here, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff about Dynamics 365, and these questions you are all asking about what's the point between the Power Platform and Dynamics 365. And Microsoft is really separating these two different parts, just to make sure that you will be able to stay focused on the Power Platform and the way to build application without going and knowing anything about Dynamics 365 and all these different things coming from Dynamics 365.
Awesome, Nicole. I have 2 questions. If you can go back to the, not a slide, but the document you were previously with the certification. So the question is, so to get into an architect, do we need to take 2 exams, PL 200 and 400? Or is it enough to get one PL 100, 200, 400, and then you can go for the architect?
At this time, there is no, this is not clear, because the MB600 is still based on the old Powerapps plus Dynamics 365 developer certification. So, I mean, the MB200 and
Which is
MB400.
retiring.
You're right. So I think we will get some additional details probably before the end of this year, when this exam will be retired for real. Microsoft will probably come with new options to maybe with a new PL 600 right here. I don't know, or maybe they will propose the path to move from the PL 200 and PL 400 to MB 600. I don't know.
Okay, and now the next question is, do you have any recommendations for people coming from Office 365 to kind of get into the common data service? The app in a day and the basic learnings on Microsoft Learn are great, but they don't teach you anything about real world scenarios like taking care of security roles, connecting them to certain entities. And how can somebody really get more real life scenario experience versus the basic stuff that's available for free?
Another amazing question, another great question. So this, when you don't know at all Dynamics 365 and you never used it, jumping into the common data service is always a bit complex. Yeah. So the MB200 actually is providing a lot of details about this common data service. But at this time, when you are jumping into the MB200, they are also talking a lot about some dynamic stuff. So you will probably have to use some labs that are actually available for MB200 without using anything from coming from the Dynamics 365. So I will just look here. I think there's already something about the MB200 here. Yeah, so here I got some content about the MB200 from GitHub. So coming from Office 365, you're probably not using GitHub a lot, that much, I mean. But here, GitHub is really just a website that gives you an access to a library with different documents and sometimes some sources in a zip file. But usually it's very, very basic. Here you will find the README or the MD file that will be exposed here in from the browser, so you can easily follow the different labs right here. So you don't have to be a developer to jump into this. It's really very basic. And here you will find the instructions labs. And here you will find some details about setting up the environment, creating an app, creating the entities. And that's it. That is actually all about the common data service, the way to use these different entities. So if you want to practice about creating entities, creating relationships into the common data service, understanding how the relationships are working, and the different options with entities and the different levels you've got, you know, that will be really a good starting point here. And I would recommend to just go into this content, because you will not talk about any Dynamics 365 stuff finally here. You will build some dashboard here coming from Dynamics 365. So these one don't need to be covered. But even that, these two things are available into the common data service. So these are more specifically interesting for Dynamics 365 because for all other services, we are using now Power BI instead of these charts and dashboard coming from the Commodore service. But you will be able to practice these different step-by-steps labs, and you will find all the different things you need. So I will just open this one, for example. And here you can see this is a basic scenario here where you will find the scenario, the business scenario you want to achieve, and all the different details you need to follow and the different steps you need to follow to start building your own entities and your own model-driven application.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Nico. I see we're about at time, and I have some great feedback about your session in the chat. So any final things you'd like to tell people on how to get ready?
Yeah, the best way to get ready usually is to just start by using and browsing the Microsoft Learn content. This content is really more and more adapted to the exam itself. So of course, you can just go around and find some additional information coming from partners, and there's a lot of partners that can help you. But at first, please go into this content, which is available for free. It's easy to use. Microsoft Learning is always waiting for your feedbacks about this. And if you want to go deeper right after that, you can just switch to the next tab here, where you will be able to find some virtual courses. So actually, for example, I'm delivering an MB400 course in Europe and distantly. So that's another great way to find some additional content and go deeper if you got some additional question. But first, go with the free content. That's really a great thing that Microsoft is actually delivering through this content.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Nico, for taking the time and sharing the knowledge with the community. For everybody that found this helpful in the chat, we're really glad that you did, and you'll be sent the recording within 48 hours. So if you want to share it with your colleagues, you would think they would benefit from the knowledge, share them with everybody.
Thank
So,
you, Vlad. My pleasure.
thank you very much, everybody, for attending. Take care. Ignite registration actually opened today, and I was just talking with Nico before that because his cover picture was in New Orleans, and I'm like, we're supposed to be there in just 20 days. So don't forget to sign up for Ignite, and talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we go, the picture.
Yep.
Good way to end it. Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a great day.